Warning, before this video starts, this video talks about. If you are uncomfortable with that, please watch something else. However, if you acknowledge this and proceed, I will give a warning before it talks about and timestamp a time to skip to when it is over. With that being said, viewer discretion is advised.
Listen, alright. It was the only costume I could find, okay? And I'm recording this on like the 26th. I've got 5 days to get this out. On the surface, the Animal Crossing series is one of those which Nintendo advertises as wholesome, cute, fun for all ages, and above all, just a great time. However, behind all the vibrant villages, sweet interactions, and the friends made through the game, some of the playbase decide to take the concept and completely just overwrite it. Instead, creating things called story towns. As the name implies, these villages were made with the intention of telling a story to the visitor. One of the very first of these story towns is the topic of today's extra spooky Halloween special, and that village is known as Aika Village. If you're big in the Animal Crossing community, then you'll know what this village is already about. However, to those who don't know, created by the Animal Crossing player Gariku, the story of Aika Village is up to the visitor's own interpretation, with no one definitive answer. This has sparked many different theories about the story of the village. While theories vary, all of them follow the same chronological pattern due to the linear order of events. So if you would care to set aside a bit of your time tonight, I recommend getting cozy, listening up, and preparing for this horror story.
Awaking from the bed which Luna sent me to sleep in, I heard the sound of a slow, calming piano and the equally as calming sounds of the ocean waves washing by the island, reminding me that I can return to the world of stress whenever I please. I stumble out of bed to prepare myself for this impactful story I'm about to endure. Waiting next to me, a present lies, wrapped in a golden foil with a blood-red ribbon. I pick it up and unwrap it to reveal a dolly. I feel a wave of guilt wash over me. Is this dolly supernatural? This dolly will play a key role in the story. I travel north to the first of 4 houses and enter. The once slow, calming piano is replaced by the monotone and stressful cello and viola. This change in atmosphere creates a sense of unease. Located in the center of the room stands a table. It is Aika's birthday, shown by her adjacent position to the cake and the 2 black mannequins side by side with Aika. These figures are presumably her parents. Also on the table, a present, similar to the one we received at the start. The TV in the back left corner displays nothing but static. There is a back room, however, our path of entrance is blocked by a set of drawers. These drawers, when interacted with, states, "What is seen cannot be unseen." Opening the wardrobe on the right side of the room tells us, "Pretend like nothing was seen." Upstairs is Aika's bedroom, furnished with toys, paintings of her family, and the doll. The same song from downstairs continues. After leaving, I start to navigate my way to the second house. Moving through the forest of perfect beech trees and crossing the bridge, I notice a deterioration in nature. Once cared for, now overgrown with bushes and potholes, litter tossed on the ground. Going to the southeast of the town, we come across a graveyard. Digging up each grave reveals a dolly, some with green leaves, some with red leaves. Just after the graveyard, outside the police station is a toy hammer. Was this confiscated after being used with malicious intent? At the town hall, we see the town flag, Aika's mother. Below the flag is a megaphone. This represents Aika's mother calling out for Aika. Entering the second house reveals a more disturbing song to that of the first house. The sound of a synthesizer sets the mood for the rest of the dark and disturbing room. After finding my way through the maze and entering the left room, I see 14 dollies having a picnic. While the other dollies so far have been all red, these 14 have a monochrome palette. Meanwhile, Aika stands tall in the middle of the room, facing a spoiled turnip. Going into the back room, the music stops. An assortment of multiple coloured toys facing away from me, including the dolly. But something doesn't feel right as I step onto the ocean blue carpet. I feel like I'm being watched. I turn the camera around out of curiosity and nothing. The right room is covered with bags, shoes, a big rose, owl clocks, balloons and 2 statues, one of an angel and the other of a devil. This room represents the indecisiveness of one's choices, choosing between their moral and immoral side. As I ascend the stairs, the music changes to a cheerful theme. This room represents the Garden of Eden from the Bible, specifically the creation of sin and the temptation of the serpent, tempting Adam and Eve with the apple. Descending into the basement reveals a desert scene with Lloyds and stacks of money. Following the biblical theme of the upstairs, this could be in reference to when the devil tempted Jesus in the desert for 40 days. Digging in this spot outside the house reveals a wetsuit with guilt-filled blood-coloured stripes. We will need this for later. It begins to become much harder to traverse the land. Cut down bamboo shoots now blocking my path. In addition, spoiled turnips begin to crowd the floor I walk along. However, this doesn't last long, as the vegetation deteriorates into weeds and leafless trees. There are no longer any living organisms in this environment. Finally, I reach Aika's next house. Run down, ruined, and rotten away with age. Holes in the walls let in a cold, intimidating breeze. The barbed wire fence tries to warn us not to enter. Face to face with the dolly, it is now in possession of an axe. A maze of bookshelves which store knowledge older than the house itself, and the background noise of a seesaw and a theremin. The back room has pages ripped out of books on the floor, familiar drawings of Aika's family as well as images of the Virgin Mary in the back right corner of the room. The right room is surrounded by torn down wallpaper. Standing in the middle of the room is a grand piano and eggs. I believe this to be a metaphor for Aika's parents putting her under pressure by making her play the piano from a young age, having expectations which aren't met. The wallpaper was torn off by Aika from stress. The eggs signify the metaphor of walking on eggshells, which means to be overly careful in dealing with a person or situation because they get angry or offended very easily. Going upstairs is the bedroom. The furniture of the bedroom is covered by drawings of Aika's mother. From that, we can imagine this is Aika's parents' bedroom. Opening the drawers at the back right corner of the room says, so this is what's in here. And at the back of the room, the dolly, watching TV as if it's trying to act human. Finally, the basement, a cafe. A bit of a cozy area. Tables set, food racks set, plants on display. A wood burner is located in the back left of the room, but is it only wood that this wood burner has been burning? A grandfather clock ticks away as the fireplace sparks. As we continue on our way to the final house, I start to feel anxious. A wave of dread crashes into me. Arriving at the penultimate location, I take one good look at the structure, take one deep breath, and... a recreation of the first house. However, the place is littered with an assortment of items, from fortune cookies to paper. A bucket filled with water catches the dripping water from a leak in the roof. The once lively and vibrant table, with birthday decorations and food on it, now has mouldy, inedible food. The clothing rack with the mother's clothes stands dormant. The TV, instead of static, now has a sensor screen. What does it not want us to see? Going over to the wardrobe and opening it states, "Let's check what's inside," before quickly shutting the doors. And the drawers at the back of the room, which once blocked the back room, have now been pushed aside. An entrance to the unknown. The dolly, once again with the axe, has trapped Aika in a cell with itself. No way in, no way out. Pharaoh heads glare at the cell judgmentally. Upstairs is Aika's bedroom once again. However, the drawings have been graffitied, scribbling out all the left and right pictures, but only scribbling out Aika in the middle drawing. The toys which once faced us with open arms and warm expressions now turn their back on us. Or are they turned away from the dolly, which is in possession of the axe? Now we come to the end of our adventure here, arriving at our final destination, the beach. More specifically, a small island just north of the waterfall in the northwest of the map. Just before swimming over, I decide to take a walk along the shore to relax. However, I see a pair of red shoes by the shore. The same shoes worn by Aika. In Japanese culture, if someone is to end their life, they are required to set aside their shoes. Aika, filled with guilt by unleashing the dolly into the world and its evil nature, decided the only way to end the dolly was to end herself. I trample over the four-leaf clovers, which may seem like a good sign. However, the Japanese word for four and death have the same pronunciation despite being written differently. I change into the wetsuit we found dug in a hole outside the second house and set foot into the cold, vast, overwhelming sea. A grave. This is Aika's final resting place. There are 3 things we can dig up, so for one last time, I get digging. A time capsule, a creepy skeleton, and a dolly. The dolly. Aika is laid to rest in peace. However, the dolly does so with her, not letting Aika escape. She is trapped, just like the back room in the 4th house foreshadowed.
It was getting too warm in the hoodie. So, what is the village about? While there are many interpretations, with some having more serious topics, this is my personal interpretation.
Aika gets a dolly for her birthday from her parents. However, unbeknownst to the parents, the dolly is supernatural. The dolly begins to diminish Aika's mental health, growing her more and more distant from her family and friends. Eventually, Aika goes missing, and her mother tries to go out to find her, but she can't find her. She's lost. The reason I think Aika's gone missing is because the dolly's made her feel so worthless and guilty that Aika can't handle it anymore and she ultimately ends her life. Of course, my interpretation might be a bit of a long shot and out of the park for your belief. However, must I remind you, there is no one specific interpretation of the story, and it's all left up to the visitor to find out the story themselves. Thank you for watching this Spooky Scary Skeletons Halloween video. It's been one of my favourite story card, honestly. I just love these like storytelling videos. If you shot yourself, subscribe, but if you didn't, you know, still subscribe. It supports the channel and it makes me happy. So finally, comment, like, subscribe, and as always, don't fuck Mogi Lounge.